Hey everyone, my name's Gabriel, but you can call me the Magician of Black Chaos. So, I wanted to share a really strong Stahl build in Fire Emblem Heroes with you today. But first, I think I have to explain why I'm playing Fire Emblem Heroes and, my sort of background with the Fire Emblem game series. So, without further ado, let me just jump right into that. So, a bit of background. My favorite game in the entire series is Fire Emblem 8, the Sacred Stones. I love how challenging it can be, like how much it makes me think about every move I use, and I love the characters in it. They're all very interesting. I love reading support conversations and stuff like that. I always try and get as many supports as possible in any given run, and I always try and use as many characters as I can use. Because, it's fun to use a lot of characters, and I love just getting everyone to level up all the time. And the Tower of Volney is my favorite area, because then even if someone's falling behind, I can just level them up, and they can catch right up with the rest of my crew. But enough about Fire Emblem 8. I want to talk about Fire Emblem Heroes now. So, I had heard about the game's release back in 2017, and I thought, oh, that seems like a pretty fun game, but I don't really have the time to play it. I was still sort of in school, so I couldn't really find the time to play it. But now that I'm kind of looking for a job while I'm out of school, I figured, you know what, let's try out Fire Emblem Heroes. So I tried it a couple weeks ago, and I found myself pretty intrigued with the story. Book 1 kind of started slow. It's kind of just two kingdoms going at it like every good Fire Emblem game. And then Book 2 is where it really picked up, Book 2 was a fantastic story in my opinion, Surtur was a great villain, his ambitions were wonderful. I like, people need reasons for villains to be evil. Surtur just wanted to conquer everything. That's awesome in my opinion. And the way he commanded everyone under him was great. He was a fantastic leader, but he got kind of screwed over by that sort of Mary Sue, oh, we have the power of friendship spell that Alphonse, Shrina, Anna, and Fjorm had together. But in my opinion, the story really picked up around Book 3. Now, if you don't know already, which I'm sure you all do, because you've probably been playing Fire Emblem Heroes a lot longer than I have, basically, Book 3 is about Hell, the realm of the dead, and the opening movie for it has this, loud, abrasive heavy metal in it, and I was like, what the heck's all this heavy metal crap? But then when I read the story for Book 3, I was like, wow, that heavy metal makes a lot of sense, because whenever I listen to heavy metal, I just want to commit suicide, Anyway, so I booted up Fire Emblem Heroes, and I was playing through it, and I was collecting some orbs and stuff like that, and I found these hero battles. Now, these hero battles are pretty cool to me, because you could get a 1 to 2 star version of a unit, and I saw Stahl in that mix, and I was like, wow, Stahl, he's from Fire Emblem Awakening, my second favorite game in the Fire Emblem series. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to pick Stahl up. And so I went into the hero battle and I fought him. It was pretty tough to beat him, but I managed it. And so I got Stahl on my team. I got the 1-star Stahl, and I was like, wow, this guy's really awesome. This guy's so strong. And so I just had to make this video to showcase how strong Stahl really is. So the first part of my super duper Stahl build is Barrier Blade. Now I know what you're thinking, Barrier Blade? Why would you give Stahl that? But there's a good reason for it. See, Stahl has really bad resistance. So, if I give him Barrier Blade to give him +7 resistance on enemy phase, then he can run in and just tank magic like nobody's business. It's pretty awesome how he can do that. And I also gave him Steady Stance 4 in his A slot. Now that's to give him +8 defense on enemy phase and also prevent enemy specials from going off as quickly on him, so he's able to survive a lot longer against certain types of enemies. Now, I've heard that Moonbow is kind of the noob special to put on units, but I think it's a strong special, It's 2 cooldowns, so it comes out very, very quickly, and you can throw it onto pretty much any unit. See, with high defense units, Stahl rips through them with Moonbow. It's super easy for him to kill them like that, because Moonbow, their defenses don't stand a chance. I gave him pivot so he can move really far in one turn. He can move his full 3 spaces, and then he can pivot across an ally unit to get even farther into the battlefield and get right into the fray. So, for the C slot, to help him kill enemies faster, I gave him Threatened Defense. Now, Threatened Defense obviously lowers enemies' defense when they're too close to him on the start of his turn. Now, that makes it a lot easier for him to deal damage and kill them right off the bat as soon as he's done tanking like an absolute boss. Now, Pass is a bit of a special skill here in my heart. And there's a very good reason for why Pass is on Stahl, because it's a very good memory for me. So it was a really hot summer day, and I had invited a girl over to hang out. And I was playing Sacred Stones, just, hanging out with her, talking to her outside. It was kind of warm that day, so I had a nice cool bottle of Soylent with me. Now, she had gone inside, and I figured, okay, well, she might just have to do something. But after a couple minutes, she didn't come back out, so I figured, okay, I'll go check on her. And I could hear a noise coming from my room as I went back inside. So I went into my room and I saw the girl who I was with underneath my sister. And my sister was just going to town on this girl. And I was just staring and watching. I couldn't do much because my sister was just going at it. I couldn't do a thing to stop her. And it was really infuriating for me, but I knew I couldn't hit my sister because I can't possibly hit a woman. So I kind of just stood there and I just fumed, because there was nothing I could possibly do. Like, the girl who I was with was enjoying it, and my sister had a crazy smile on her face. She was going absolutely insane. Now, they hadn't noticed me walk into the room, so I figured, okay, well, when she leaves and she asks if she wants to hang out again, I'll reject her real cool. So I waited a couple minutes and they finished up, and so I went back outside and acted like nothing had happened. And this girl who I was with decided that she was going to go home, so she said, I'm going to go home, and will you walk with me home? And I was like, nah, pass. So I really gave it to her. So that's why Pass is on my Stahl here. And that's pretty much the build. Now, Attack Smoke is here because that's the first seal I bought in the Sacred Seal Forge. And it seemed like a really good seal, so I figured I'd just give it to him just to make him tank even better. Lowering enemies' attack makes him tank even better against all these evil enemies like Myrrh and Hector. But you know what? Stahl can do it all. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope you have a great day, and maybe you consider building a Stahl of your own. Don't copy my build, that wouldn't be very cool, but you could certainly give him skills like the ones I gave him, and make him into an absolute monster.